Mentioned earlier, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. It's also the appearance of a great transcendental personality, an expansion of the Supreme Lord, Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda appeared roughly 500 years ago to help spread chanting of the sacred mantras, because God loves us more than we could conceive of and wants us to be happy. And so he arranges a process for us so that we can come to have our heart and mind purified, so that we can actually come to be re-established in our loving relationship with the Supreme Person. And most people, when they think about God, if they think about God at all, say we have very limited information, and we have a lot of just ideas in our mind about what we think God is. But can probably say generally people don't think of the most attractive, the most lovable, the most amazing, the sweetest, the funniest, the most gentle, the most playful personality, right? When we think of God, we don't think like that, right? It's usually some sort of like, be nice to me, please fix my life. And more often than not, people don't think about God at all until something really heavy is going on in their life, and then it's like, God, please help. Right? So we don't realize that God is actually extremely important in our life, the most important aspect of our life, completely. We're all part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, and love is our intrinsic nature. The soul by nature is eternal, by nature is blissful. Not in this world, we don't see bliss, right? They have a tablet called ecstasy. It's not the real thing, I promise. But real ecstasy is what we seek, which is probably why people try something called ecstasy. They wouldn't try it if it was called, a downer or, dog doo-doo or whatever. They try it because it's called ecstasy, and it's like, well, I'd like some ecstasy. That's fake. Real ecstasy is spiritual, and it's part of our true nature, to be completely in love with the Supreme Person. And when we have that total loving relationship, when we're re-established in knowing our ultimate best friend, the person who loves us unconditionally, when we have that knowledge, when it's actually part of our very being, then we will experience complete love, complete happiness, and we will not feel there's anything else to gain. We have everything. And that love will then expand to others. So in this world, we're traveling. It's a really nice booklet. It's from a talk my spiritual teacher did many years ago. It's called God Supremely Lovable. And he said we're traveling throughout the universe from one body to the next, looking for the perfect person to love. It is the story of our lives, not just this life, but every life. We're looking for the perfect person to give us love and security, someone we can be perfectly happy loving. And the only taste that will actually satisfy us, the spiritual being, is a loving relationship with Krishna. Krishna, God, is called Krishna because out of all the innumerable names of God, Krishna is considered supreme because it encompasses all names of God. It means God is all attractive. There's the word Krishna, means all attractive. And so all attractive means it encompasses every other aspect of God that makes him all attractive. Right? every attractive feature that we see in another person, that is in full in the Supreme Person. When we try to find our love in this world and try and aim our love to someone, we have expectations that they're going to satisfy us, that they're going to give us what we need. They're going to give us happiness. They're going to give us fulfillment. And so we have expectations that they're going to be the perfect person, right? It's pretty high expectation for another person in this world, right? We need to learn to actually love others with their imperfections. We all have them. So just be able to love and accept somebody without conditions, and don't expect too much from them. They're not Krishna. They're just another spirit soul, just like you and me. We're all just spiritual beings looking for happiness, looking for love, looking for perfection. And so we can work together as a team, right? We can love somebody, we should love everybody, but we need to recognize that that person is not going to be able to satisfy my heart. They're not going to be my total Valentine, right? They can't. They're another spirit soul in this world. They're not God. They can't satisfy our heart, right? But we can love them regardless. We can actually have real love for a person and real appreciation for that person. But if we aim our love, it's the most precious thing we have. And so usually we kind of, we guard our love carefully, especially if you've been through a few relationships. You start to be a little bit cautious, Like, I don't know how many of you remember puppy love, that first love, high school or whenever. My God, it's so sweet and it hurts so much. When it finishes, it's so painful, right? But when you love Krishna, you'll never experience pain. He will never, ever hurt us. He will never stop loving us. He will never betray us. He's not imperfect in any way. And so then the names, like Lord Nityananda taught on a really widespread scale, chant these sacred mantras, take them into the core of your heart, completely rest in them, and these mantras have the power, God has the power, being all pure and all purifying, to clear away anything that's getting in between us and our relationship with God. There's so many different things that get in the way. We may just not even be interested, it's like I just want to live my life, I just want to be the person who controls everything. But meanwhile, we will still look for love. We will still be looking for love somewhere. We will still need real satisfaction, real peace, real happiness in the core of our heart. So we can exist without love, but we don't really live without it. Right? I mentioned before, many years ago, I was in New Zealand visiting my mum, and there was New Zealand has this magazine called The Listener. There was a Listener, and it had this article about orphanages in Romania. This is back a long time ago. I mean, still in my lifetime. Reasonable long time ago. And the children weren't, in this particular place, they weren't shown any love at all. It was like nobody wanted them. They were there, they were in an institution because somebody had to kind of do the basics for them. And they were shown no love, and they were all completely messed up. Completely messed up. It was just the most heartbreaking thing to read about. That what happens to a person if they don't experience love. Love from a parent, love from siblings, love from anyone. They're fed, basically fed and watered and clothed and everything, but no love. And it destroys a person, completely destroys a person. So we need it, it's intrinsic, it's like the very essence of our being. So we need to try and have some faith that the great spiritual teachers who tell us about this person who's beyond our sense perception, that there is a Supreme Person, and He is all lovable. God, supremely lovable. The most attractive, the most lovable person. And if we can have a little bit of faith that these great spiritual personalities are not out to try and get anything from me, they're feeling love for me. They want to give me something. And they're encouraging us. Take the names of Krishna. Try and take Krishna into the core of your heart. Try to rest in Krishna. Try to take shelter in Krishna. And you will experience the peace, the happiness, and the love that you've always been seeking. Thank you.